Here are the top 5 pros of going to art school. I graduated with a bachelor's in graphic design a couple of years ago from Michigan State University. And I was never a formally trained artist. I was a sculptor since I was a kid. And this was really like my first formal education in art. Originally, I was a biology major and I switched like a year into it. So I kind of got both experiences. This is for anyone who is thinking about going to art school or doing something in the arts and wants to make a better decision with their investment. But yeah, there was a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and these are 5 of the highs, I guess you could say. The first one that was very apparent to me was the relationship I had with my professors. This was also something I noticed for a lot of my friends in other majors. They never really had any relationship with their professors. A lot of their classes were, they had like 100 plus kids, and the professors didn't really have the time to invest into each person. In the art department, because classes are like 30 to, maximum 30 kids per class, and maybe because art is just such a personal field, that line kind of gets blurred. I mean, most of your professors end up becoming like your really good friends. I still talk to a lot of my professors that I went to college with. They give me advice on my career, life. Oftentimes I would get coffee with my professors after class. Count how many times I said the word professor, by the way. The second thing, let me see here. What did I write down? My notes app. My notes app is wild. Okay. The second big pro of going into art school is that you actually care about what you're doing. You really kind of have to be out of your mind to pick a field in the arts. The gain of it is very, very hard to achieve in terms of financially. So it's the ones who love to do it end up doing it. And a lot of times in your classes, you don't have tests unless it's like an art history course. You have projects that you have to do. Because of that, you're given like much more freedom to like express yourself, and you end up making stuff that you actually care about. I cared that my art looked good. I didn't really do it for the grade. I feel like everyone else in college is just like chasing the numbers and chasing the grade, and it's like a chore to study or a chore to do homework. But for us, it was like we genuinely wanted to make something like great and something we were proud of. Like my painting one final, it was like a 6 foot by 5 foot painting. I did like 3 all-nighters on that painting. I hated painting. I was not really good at painting. I'm still not good at painting. But I had to take a painting 1 class, and for that final, I spent like 3 all-nighters with like 4 other students just in the studio. They were working on their paintings. I was working on my painting, and we were just like having like a great time building something that we were proud of. And this also leads to like greater ambition. Oftentimes, your grade suffers because of that. I wanted to make something so cool, something so amazing, that I didn't have the time to finish it. Pro number 3. I learned to experiment. Now, I am a sculptor. That's like the number one thing I'm good at. It's the thing I've been doing since I was a child. And because of some of the credits you have to take, a lot of it being like some art history classes you have to take. Sometimes there's like studio art classes like drawing 1, painting 1. Photography is another big one. I mean, if I didn't go, I would never have picked up photography. And photography actually ended up becoming like my main source of income for a few years after I graduated. And that led me into videography, which led me here. So because of the wide range of classes you have to take, performance art was another one I took. Because of that, you experiment a lot, and ultimately, all of it made me a better sculptor. Number 4, this one is a pro, I would say, but it could also be a con depending on how you look at it. Getting to work with galleries. and understanding that market. Now, there isn't really a specific class for it. Sometimes it depends on the class. MSU, I was very lucky. We had the Broad Art Museum. It's this like weird, ugly building in the middle of campus. Doesn't fit the rest of the campus at all. It was actually Batman vs Superman. It was Lex Luthor's house.
No, what am I? What was I saying? No.
Yeah, some of the classes in the program, they would oftentimes get a show. Grad students would have this like big end of the year show at that museum. I had a show with like 3 or 4 different artists, and just like seeing how that side of the coin operates and seeing how the art world operates is pretty sobering. Figuring out what is allowed in the space, what's not allowed, what can I do with the lights, really gets you thinking about the side of the art world that I feel like most artists don't think about, and that's like the logistical side. We're always just so creative. How can I make this thing look cool? How can I make this thing pop? What's different? How to express myself, like through a drawing or a painting? But we never like think about logistical sides of stuff and like organizing an event or like wiring. Anyway, and number 5, which kind of feeds off number 4, is you find your value as an artist. You find what you are good at, what you need to get better at to go where you want to be. We are sometimes, I feel, pretty lonely people, a lot of us. We just like keep to our studio space and like work on our projects. There really isn't like that much validation that can come from that. But when you go to art school on a monthly basis, per every project, you're being critiqued by like not only your professor but like your peers. So how our critiques would work is like we would put the stuff on the wall and we would all just sit around and people could say what was good about it, what could have been better, and that really makes your process much easier in terms of you getting better and finding that road than if you were trying to figure out what you suck at on your own. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not saying art school was all sunshine and rainbows. Believe me, I have my issues with it, and I honestly plan to do a top 5 cons of art school. So depending on how this video does, so let me know if you guys want to see that. But yeah, these were the pros. If you have any questions, comment, like, subscribe, please. Really helps the channel grow. We just started this thing. We're not stopping anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.